Hello Internet, Dyce Quirk here, and today in this video we're going to be covering the weather, festivals, and events that take place in the month of January in Japan. And honestly, January can be an amazing month to come and visit the country, but be warned, early January is also a major holiday season for locals. And so, there's going to be a lot of closed businesses, a lot of ATMs that literally you could find no money in. Being a cash-based society, that's a pretty big deal. Also, because of a lot of locals visiting their hometowns, their families, and local shrines, most of the transportation, or public transportation, is going to be loaded to the brim. So, if those cons don't scare you away, let's not waste time and let's get to it. In January, you can expect a much more chilling temperature compared to most of the year, with morning temperatures in Tokyo, Fukuoka, and Osaka averaging around 35 to 37 degrees Fahrenheit, while afternoon temperatures can hit an average high of only around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Or, if you're way up north in Sapporo, you can see morning temperatures averaging around 18 degrees Fahrenheit, with an afternoon temperature only hitting a high of around 30 degrees Fahrenheit. This all, however, does really pair well with the good chance of sunny, dry weather, which means that January ends up becoming the peak season for skiing in Japan, with December having a lack of snow in the early part of the month, and February being just a little bit too warm, having some of the snow just melting. It makes January have a surplus of snow compared to the rest of the year, and so you won't be able to see any other time in Japan that's better for skiing. And with January being the start of the new year, there's actually a number of traditions that are used to mark the beginning of the year, such as Hatsuichi, which is basically like Black Friday in Japan, where you can find discounts all over the place in a bunch of different locations. And also, you can find this thing called a fukubukuro, which is basically like a lucky bag. Essentially, it's a bag where you can't see everything that's inside of it, and it has a discounted price, and the value of everything inside of the bag is much higher than what you paid for the value of the bag. However, again, you have no idea what's in it. Another big tradition is Hatsumode, which is basically like first shrine visits of the year. It's a tradition of going to a shrine at the very beginning of the year, and it kind of leads into our very first big festival or event that takes place in Japan in the month of January, and that is Japanese New Year. Occurring on January 1st, you can bet that Japan's New Year's celebration is a huge event for the entire country, as on December 31st at midnight, you can actually hear bells ringing everywhere in the country as different Buddhist temples ring their bells 108 times to symbolize the 108 human sins and to get rid of the 108 worldly desires that are a part of their belief. And with many families actually visiting shrines for the tradition of Hatsumode, as well as spending time with their families, it's also commonplace for families to get together and make traditional food for New Year's, as well as play some traditional New Year's Japanese games. The New Year's celebration actually also makes for an incredibly busy late December and early January for post offices in Japan, and that's because it's customary to send a New Year's Day card to both family and friends in Japan. And the thing that makes it kind of difficult for post offices over there is they make a kind of like an Amazon guarantee that they will get those postcards to the people that they're being sent to on January 1st. No earlier, no later. And that's of course assuming that you turn those postcards in by the deadline. These postcards are actually really similar to our Western Christmas cards. However, these New Year's Day cards were originally sent to different family members and friends that you wouldn't normally see to let them know that you were alive and well. Well, mainly actually just alive. In fact, there's actually another custom tied to this where you're not technically supposed to send these New Year's Day cards to certain people if somebody passed away in the family within that year. Instead, one of the family members would send out a mochu hagaki, which is basically another form of postcard that is just letting all the relatives know not to send any New Year's Day cards out of respect for the dead. On a lighter note, there's actually another tradition tied to New Year's in Japan, and that is otoshidama. And this is where the adults inside of the family will give children inside of the family small decorated envelopes, which are called pochi bukuro. And these pochi bukuro are filled with a sum of money, which can vary depending on the number of children in the family and the age of the child. Following New Year's is another very special holiday in Japan called Coming of Age Day, and this takes place on the second Monday of January in Japan, and it celebrates all of the people in Japan that have turned 20 since the very last Coming of Age Day. And something, at least in my mind, that makes it really unique compared to a lot of Western holidays is that this holiday is actually celebrated in the public squares and the city halls in each one of the prefectures in Japan. And sadly, because we're foreigners, we can't participate in this event. But it does create a unique opportunity to be able to see a lot of exquisite kimono, as a lot of the women that are turning 20 for this event will wear their own traditional kimono. So it's definitely still a really cool sight to see. Following not too far behind the Coming of Age Day celebration is the Sanjusangendo Archery Contest, which takes place on January 14th. And at this competition, you can find over 2,000 practitioners of Kyudo, which is the Japanese art of archery, and they all come to this contest at the Sanjusangendo Buddhist temple. And they all come to compete in the contest in honor of the art of Kyudo. And another interesting thing about this festival or competition is that a lot of the women that just celebrated the Coming of Age Day celebration will wear their kimono to this event as well. So regardless if you know a lot about archery or about Kyudo, it still could be a really interesting event to go to where you can see a lot of tradition coming together. Now, this next festival actually takes place on January 9th, and it's called the Hatsuichi Daruma Festival, and the entire festival revolves around these guys. This right here is a daruma doll, and in Japan, these daruma dolls are used essentially for setting goals, but we actually made an entire Culture Bite video, which is a 1-minute lesson that covers everything you need to know about a particular topic. And in our Culture Bite video, we talk about not only everything that is kind of referenced in this doll, but also a couple little secrets about it as well. So make sure you check that out after this video. And as you can see, our goal that we set for this Daruma doll is 1,000 subscribers. At the Daruma Festival, you can find nearly 600 different stalls, all selling Daruma and different charms. But the real festival kind of starts at around 10 a.m. though, and that's because that is when the Hachiman temple will start burning all of the Daruma from the previous year. And that's because these Daruma are not only supposed to be helping you do better at achieving your goals, it's also supposed to be filled with luck, and so you're sending all that luck back up to heaven. Having said that, it's kind of an interesting and profitable system. Let's say you buy one, you fail, you bring it to the temple and burn it, and then you think, you know what, I failed last time, I'll buy another one and try again. Or you buy one, you succeed, you bring it in, you burn it, and then you're like, well, you know what, that worked, so I should buy another one. Yeah, it really is quite profitable. Technically, you don't need to burn them. You could keep them. A lot of different places in Japan do, and a lot of people in Japan do. But traditionally, that's what you should do. So, let me know in the comments if you think when we hit our 1,000 subscriber goal, when we hit that goal, should we keep this or should we burn it? Again, let me know in the comments, and make sure to check out that Daruma Culture Bite video. And finally, kind of my favorite festival in all the month of January in Japan, which takes place on the 4th Saturday of the month, is Wakakusa. If you haven't really picked up on this channel yet that I really like fire, you might want to watch some of my other videos where I talk about other festivals with fire, because I really do love it. And this event is probably the biggest fire-related festival in all of Japan. At this festival, there's fireworks, food, a cracker throwing competition, and also a tradition called Yamayaki, which literally is translated to burning mountain. And yes, it is as cool as it sounds. A number of monks from different Buddhist temples in the area of Nara, including Todaiji Temple, hike up Mount Wakakusa to a bonfire that they had pre-made and set it aflame. And those flames spread, engulfing the entire face of the mountain, with flames that can be seen from any part of the city below. I love Japan. Also, if you are interested in seeing more events or festivals in the month of January, check out some of these. I've listed each one of them inside of the description as well. I tried to make sure in this video I saved your time by just picking out the ones I thought were really interesting or fun. Also, seriously, let us know in the comments if you're a pyro, and let us know what the fate of this guy should be. After we hit our 1,000 subscribers, tell me, what his fate should be. Should we burn him? Should we keep him and get multiple colors for each subscriber goal? Just let me know. And if you could, make sure you check out his video where we talk about what daruma are, or any of our other Culture Bite videos where we take 1 minute to go over a single cultural topic. And if you have a topic that you'd like me to go over in 1 minute and make a 1 minute lesson for, let me know. I'll try my best. And also, if you like this video, please remember to comment, like, subscribe, and share so that we can continue to make awesome content for you, because we are all about helping you experience Japan. So with all that said, thank you, and Dice Quirk out.